first. My name is Kenneth Bird. My company is ILEG Technology Exchange. I'm doing some artwork today. Where is my tool? Good abstract art in today. So I'm using glow in the dark UV paint. Alright, let's see it now. Nice little design of art all through there. Multi-coat, 6-coat application. Abstract design here. This all goes in the dark. Some white there for the Nebuline highlights. Actually makes it pop a little hot. Yeah, some people may like it, some people may not like it. You know, I don't do artwork for other people. I do artwork for myself. That's what I do it for. I'm not doing it to say, hey, everybody, no. It's for me. For me. That's what I do it for. Me. And that's what I tell you at the end of the day, you know, artists, people that are in the art field, this is what you like at the end of the day. This is your work at the end of the day. Don't care about the approval of others. Never do that. Ever. This is what you like is what you like. You can't satisfy everybody all the time. It's virtually impossible. You have artists that are afraid to show off their beautiful work because they're afraid what other people think. It doesn't matter what they think. It's what you think at the end of the day. That's what it matters at the end of the day. Get past all that nonsense and silliness. I'm pretty sure when Van Gogh started off, somebody saw one of his paintings and said, melting clocks. And look where he's at. Interesting, isn't it? Because you always got some critic somewhere that's always downsizing someone's work. You always do. So never ever be discouraged by someone else's opinion. If they don't like your work at the end of the day, who cares? As long as you like it, that's all that matters. That's what matters. As long as you like it. I learned from someone who showed me at the end of the day that when you draw that piece of fruit that they put out there, that first piece of fruit they put out for you, and you're expecting your work to look like everybody else's, but that's virtually impossible. Everybody's artwork can't look the same, because if it did, the world would be a boring museum. It'd be a boring art gallery. Everything looks the same. That's why. Everybody draws the fruit differently. And everybody draws it the same way. Everybody draws it differently. Each artist sees it in his own way. And that's what makes art beautiful. Watching through the eyes of the artist draw something different. When we do these demonstrations, usually with the art community when I do this, because naysayers are, we don't expect you to understand. I really don't. I can literally take you to a play that actually the entire thing's in Japanese, and you really wouldn't understand it. It's not the fact that you have to understand what they're saying, you have to understand what they're showing you and feeling. Yeah. You don't read poetry, you're not into the arts, you're not into classical music, or none of that stuff whatsoever. I can tell. You're what they call Neanderthal. You know, a person that's afraid of fire. Narrow-minded people can't enjoy art. They can't. It's virtually impossible. They can't do it. Because they're stuck on the negativity of the box. They're stuck in it. So we don't expect you to understand. And nor will you have the attention span to understand it, because again, like I said, it escapes you. But it does. I've taken people to an art gallery, and I've seen people absorb it and understand it, or get something out of it, and I've seen people just dead space, don't pick up jack at all. Nothing. I was like, okay. Art's not for everybody. It's just not. It's not for everybody. It's just not made for everybody. No, you consider to be an idiot because you don't understand art? No. There are people, art critics, that actually come into the museum and they talk about this, that, and da 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 da. And to me, that's a bunch of blah blah blah. Because to me, at the end of the day, I'm not listening to that because I have my own way that I'm going to interpret it and see that painting the way I want to see it. They try to put you in the mindset of the artist of what he's trying to basically display, but I'm trying to see how it makes me feel. 'Cause that's how I look at paintings. I look at a painting to see how does this painting make me feel. Each painting gives off something different. How does that painting make me feel? I want to expand because I feel like this Milky Way, these white levels are growing. And they're not just contained to one area. They're actually expanding out across the universe. It's dropping from this system over to this system. It's just traveling. Yep. You go watch a Japanese opera, Italian opera. You're going to understand the words. You can see the whole entire thing come before you when they're doing the play. You see the emotion and everything. What the actor is trying to get you to feel. You tell by the music tones, by whatever what's going on. I have tickets already set up for the Nutcracker already. I'm going. I've seen Amadeus. I've seen Wicked. I've seen Fiddler on the Roof. I've seen them all. Big fan of the arts. I appreciate everyone's artwork. They took that artist's time to do it. I had to tell a lot of artists that at the end of the day. And never ever let anyone tell you that your product is worth nothing. Never tell them that. Never let anybody control your dreams and your imagination. Never. I'm colorblind, don't be so shallow. Free your mind and the rest will follow. Be colorblind, don't be so shallow. That's In Vogue, by the way, people. I've mentioned that before on camera. That's the musical group In Vogue. Never let them tell you what you cannot do. Some people are prisoners within their own self. They live in a world worried about what other people think. That's what they do. That's sad. That's really sad. To be a prisoner within yourself. Because you're afraid what other people will think. Instead of being your own person. Some people control your world. That is not freedom. That's in-mind slavery. And some people mock what you do. Why? Because they're threatened by what you do. Because they are too coward to do it themselves. Tell me if I'm not living in some of your heads rent free. And they say I live in your head every day rent free. I know how you function, everything about you. You give off that information. It's like almost if you're playing poker and you had your winning cards laying right across your forehead so everybody could see it. You were so easy to read. Because you're closed-minded. Life is too short to be closed-minded. It really is. Too short to be closed-minded. I know people like that waste their time worrying about what other people think. Got to open your mind. That's what you have to do. Open your mind, become what you want. Do. And people get this thing, oh, people are staring at me. Who cares? Where's that light at? Oh, UV light in here somewhere. Those are already strapped into the system over there. Big one too. Very big one. Cut their limit short somewhere. So that's right. Here, what you come off here? The cartoons off. That's not over there. Big one too. Huge UV light. I use it for definitely not there. Look in there. So let's see what's stuck. It's not there, so it has to be in a box somewhere. No. Let's see. Down. That's the weirdest places. I need a battery going for this. I would sing your opinion. I know resurrection. True? Alright. Let's see if it's you. Definitely going to need a much stronger. Yes, beautiful equal universe. Multiple color display. See? Like a nebulon. Beautiful, isn't it? Yep. That's three. So all those multi-coats over and over, again and again and again, all those different displays, allows all that color to push through and gives it a multi-display. Now if I were to put RGBs next to this, I can make the screen actually change at will. We have in this unit over here. And this over here is Mother Baby, that has an entire nuclear neon jungle installed in. I gotta get my frog in here too, which will still put my lights in. You haven't seen that? This is Mother Baby I did. It's running my other PC. There's the ice box over there, which I'm still working on. And I'm starting to black out the table, getting it ready. Now, to make sure this paint doesn't have any issues, take some flat ultra poly, go over top of it, seal it, and be done. They're like my Galaxy. So I'm going to go with black lights. These are blue, but we're going to use black lights instead. Get that effect. Cool. Get a nice Galaxy reaching out. Galaxies. Transfers back up, changes to another different universe right here. Comes back down. Bounces and hits this red planet here. Comes back up, hits the green planet right over here. And then it fades down. It's got the universe down in here. Nice white star system pushing right through. Now if I got a buyer for one of these, actually yeah. I got somebody offer to buy one from me. Am I selling it? Nah, that ain't my field. I'm not into this. This is just for hobbies, just for fun. That's all this is for, it's just for hobbies and fun. Look at the mess. Yeah, my painted mess. Let me get my area cleaned up. This is what we use to paint with. Zip tied. We use shot glasses, of course. Painting for brushes, pieces of t-shirt. Pretty much it. And some tops. It's got a lotion bottle top and top to a container. And that's it. No special expensive brushes, none of that stuff. I do abstract art when painting using a screen and a straw. Piece of screen and straw. That's it. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Now, I was going to do, and this is my painting put on my wall, on my home front, put this in my house. I was going to do a whole desk like this, but I decided to do something even more funner. And actually, this would be too easy. I mean, I want something crazy. So, I'm going to do the entire desk in Cyberpunk artwork, but all the artwork's going to be painted all over again with glow-in-the-dark paint. So it all glows. I'm going to press that through plexiglass so actually I can see right through it. It's going to use a crystal clear Aztec coating so I can project an image right off of it why we have the surface of this printed images that are recoded and repainted with the glow in the dark on the opposite side. I thought that'd be even more interesting to do. So we're going to design one. Got a piece of plexiglass over there. I'm going to design one, my first surface. But this is going in my home. Going to build me a nice square frame around it that it fits inside nicely, and I can drop neon lights on it. Poof! It'll just pop up and glow. That's what I'm doing with this one. I'm going to get some more UV paints, and we're going to do a whole entire cyberpunk display, which is going to require serious detailed brushes. I got to get the good brushes for this one. This has to be detailed. We're going to repaint over the pictures like a coloring book. We're going to use all glow-in-the-dark paints instead. Push that right through a piece of plexiglass, and then we're going to actually coat that plexiglass with our technology. Pretty cool. They say you have to learn to think outside the box. Life is too short to shorten your intelligence on dumb stuff. You know, you think your brain has this endless amount of space. Why put stupid stuff in there? Stupid knowledge. Why put stupid stuff in there? If anything, and I hate to be rude here, but it is true, some of you can't spell for jack. I would consider the fact taking up a class or something, some kind of class or something, to learn how to spell better, to learn to write better. Educate yourself. Invest in yourself, as they say. That's what you should be doing. Do I consider myself to be a high-end artist? No, I'm not. I'm just an everyday Joe who likes to paint. That's it. That's who I am. That's all that I am. Yep. But I try to learn something every day. I'm actually taking up art classes because I always try to broaden my intelligence level on learning other things. That's why I know about physical, what do you call it, fusion nuclear energy. I started studying that when I was watching the image of a city float, and I'm thinking, how the frick would you go about doing that? So I started studying that. So I found about fusion nuclear energy. Curious about the ocean and why we can't live there. Of course, now I see there's a lot of challenges with that one. But not only that, is the meter system that involves with the ocean. Because that plays a huge role on your survival. On exactly how many meters that sea is going to be under that ocean floor. Humans like 15. I think it's 15 for a human. No, it's less. I think it's like 8 for a human, and it's 15 for a professional swimmer. And mind you, at 200 meters. Yeah, that's a huge, massive. That's deep. 200 meters is deep. After 200 meters, sunlight does not pierce anymore. I've passed the 200 mark, so everything goes dark. So yeah, I can see all the challenges you have done there. You would literally be building something completely in darkness. You'd have to have tons of lighting down there to see it, what you're doing. So yeah, it's interesting studying that stuff. But I just don't imagine wasting my time calling somebody 20 times. We don't even get those calls. They go someplace else. But we can see the track that comes up and see how many people call in. And they call like 20 times. 20 times over and over again. You're never getting that light. You're never getting that time back. Ever. You'll never get that back. That's wasted time. Time you could have been doing something else with that. The time that you sit there making that phone call, it's the time that I'm on Robinhood, basically upgrading my portfolio and switching my money where I want it to go, basically to invest in better stocks. That's what I do at my time. Gotta do something with your life. It's pitiful. Alright, come out here and actually I got a new clothing line coming out on top of that too. I used to make clothes way back in the day, way before that. When I started, why not open that box back up again? I got a lot of people I'm connected with. Let's reach out to them. Tell me we got some new ideas. And yeah, my stuff was actually in a fashion show. All that, the good stuff, yeah. Because again, I was always a person about learning more, learning more, learning more. Always trying to figure out how it was done. Instead of sitting around criticizing people, I basically figure out how it's done. Ooh, these are beautiful. These are going to come in. These are nice. I'm going to let these dry, and we can use these for something else, because I can get some good ideas I can definitely use these for. And we are building our new rocket ship. Look at our rocket ship we're building. Out of a simple bottle, we're building our rocket ship. Going on a trip on a big old rocket ship. Bum, 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 bum. So I got all the stuff that I want to print out. I got it modified and colored the way I want. And then I'm going to go in and basically begin the process of doing my first surface. So I got going to get myself some really good paint brushes, detail paint brushes. Begin the artwork to get that done. That's how I'm going to do my desk. I'm going to do my desk in the panel system. Yeah. Yeah, definitely will. Right, these paints were fun. This right here. And that's the customer that already bought the other day was watching shit. Again, never let people rain on your parade. Ever. The stuff that I read, sometimes I take the time to read through some of these messages. Oh my goodness. I can't, I hate to put this in this video. You gotta be kidding me. That's it? That's as high as your intelligent level will peak? Literally, in some of these messages you get, you're a stupid head. Really, a stupid head? Come on, really, that's the best. I could, if I wanted to, really wrong, but I could call you a, let's see, oh, it's pretty jacked up. An aquapyro necrophiliac. Probably don't know what that is, do you? Now, keep in mind, if you Google it, that means I'm smarter than you. So, if you don't Google it, now mind, that's how I put the thought in your head. If you Google it, that means I'm smarter than you. So if you have to look that up and you can't understand exactly what I just said, and you go to Google, it doesn't make a difference whether I see it or not. That means at the end of the day you already know that I'm smarter than you. But you have to look it up, figure out what it is. Got aqua, necro, pyro, philiac. If you look it up, that means I'm smarter than you. So, like I said, it's one of those things that deep down inside, no one can see you, but deep down inside, you know yourself that I'm smarter because you had to go look it up. I said to somebody one time in the game, they were like, what the freak? And like, oh, the other guy caught it, he was like, oh, that's messed up. Another guy was like, what? I said, hey, if you look it up, that means I'm smarter than you. And the way he was pausing, I can tell he was looking it up. Because anybody else would answer that question right away. People know the answer, don't wait around to tell the answer. They just tell the answer, but they already know. People who don't know wait around because they're thinking to figure out what the answer is. Like if I were to tell you, I got 3 riddles in my head. And those 3 riddles I have in my head, if I were to speak them to you, they would mess you up for the rest of your life. You can't stop thinking about them. It's about having control over one's thoughts and focus, which means if I were to mention 3 of them, which I can send you an email with that riddle in it, and you read that riddle, it'll be stuck in your head for the rest of your life, and it will mess with you every single day. It's designed to cause self-destruction within one's mind. It's a hard Pandora box to close. You would think about it 24/7, day and night. It's actually designed to make you go mad. I have 3 of them in my head. How do I control it? I'm able to control my focus, my thoughts. I can pinpoint exactly what I want to open and what I don't want to open. It's sitting in the back of my head and I don't even think about it whatsoever. Because I have that much self-control over my own thoughts. But if you don't have that self-control, it'll mess you up. I send that back to you in an email, your life is ruined. You'll go mad. That's all you can think about. It'll play in your head over and over. It's designed over and over and over again. It'll make you go mad. I had a friend of mine who, when I was studying, he was into some weird, crazy stuff, and he would come back and tell you this crazy stuff like, yeah, I got these riddles, man, and they're unsolvable. If I tell you them, you can go mad. But you can't stop thinking about it. It's like having a song stuck in your head. You ever have a song stuck in your head so well you can hear it crystal clear, everything crystal clear, and it plays over and over again. You're humming it and singing it, whatever. Yeah, it's like that. But this is different. This is designed to make you go mad because you automatically are trying to figure it out. You're trying to basically solve the puzzle, but you can't solve the puzzle. You can't solve the riddle because it's unsolvable. And if I mention it, it doesn't bother me because, again, I can focus my thoughts where they need to go. I have control over my thoughts. But some people don't have that. Ugh. If I really want to mess your life up, I'll send you an email. You'll read it. People like to be challenged. See, the thing about human behavior is the fact that human beings like to be challenged. As you put down something like, oh, this is impossible for you to do because you don't have the intelligent level to do so, you will literally read through that because you basically want to prove me wrong. And by trying to prove me wrong, you'll cause one to go mad because, again, you will never be able to figure out, which is virtually impossible. Aren't you glad I didn't tell you? I told 3 people. My timeline, I told 3 people that riddle. And mess you up. You teach yourself control. Teach you how to suppress memories. I can suppress memories. I have that ability. I can take something and I can bury it deep in my head and never think of it ever again. It's not even exists in my head unless I bring it up. So if I were to basically get into an argument with somebody, when we bother them, I can cut them off. All emotions, feelings, everything gone, just like that. I have no feelings for you whatsoever, anybody whatsoever. You don't exist. I can't feel for something that doesn't exist. So being able to control your emotions and thoughts at the end of the day comes in extremely handy, which you have to suppress. Some people, when they suppress memory, they have other problems that pop up. So, we reach court, and I walk over to you, and I mention that to you, your life is screwed up. You'll never stop thinking about it ever. Let's put it this way. It can cause one to commit suicide. You can't stop thinking about it. It makes you go crazy. When he said it to me, I laughed about it when I first heard it. And it got stuck in there for a little bit. I learned how to control it. I learned to take it and put it in a spot in my head and keep it there and never go back to it. It's jacked up. Like, who the freak comes up with this stuff at the end of the day? Yep. 3 riddles. Unsolvable. Possible to solve. Look, I got business to take care of. Just came up. Jacked up, unsolvable riddles. When someone tells me something, no, it's different from that. It makes you think. It's a puzzle that's designed to make you think how this would become what it is. So you would have to figure out the scenario of basically how you would get a triangle to be to push through a square perfectly. So you'll be sitting there trying to calculate how this is done. Different ways, different angles, how you can do this. There's no answer for it. That's all you would think about. And then engulf your mind. Depends. It shows you exactly how strong your ability to be able to how your what do you call it? Your willpower. How strong is it? Man, this paint's pretty interesting. I like this stuff. You gotta get something with a high grade. But yeah, that's what it's about. You need to control your willpower. And people in relationships, you have no control of your emotions at all, period. You don't. You have no control of your emotions. You can, unless you're, then you have no control of your emotions. Let's put it this way. You know how powerful the heart is? The heart is extremely powerful. So is the brain, extremely powerful. The heart can be struck in a way to make you feel like you literally have a blade sticking out of your chest. You can feel the pain, everything. The stress, anxieties, all of it. It feels like exactly like somebody reached in and ripped your very heart out of your chest. And that can be done so easily by somebody saying just a few words, and all of a sudden, boom, your world can just collapse just like that. You have no ability to eat. You can't enjoy anything. It can be a sunny day, and basically it might as well just be storming and raining out there for you. Can you imagine how much control a human being would have over somebody at the end of the day to be able to do that? Now, there are some people at the end of the day that can control their emotions, which means they don't feel anything for you. They can't fall in love with you, which is virtually impossible. They have that ability, but you will fall in love with them. And they know this, and they can use it to control you. Yeah. Because the heart and brain and mind is a very powerful thing. So if your wife, if you went through her phone and you found her in there hugging another man, how much damage would that cause your entire day? It would destroy it. It would destroy it. You're connected to that person. The longer you're with that person, the longer the connection. If that person were to separate from you, the damage would be catastrophic. That's what I didn't like when I was in a relationship. That's the part I hated the most. Because a person could have that much power over you. Didn't make a difference. If that person smiled and said, have a nice day, you had a nice day. You had the sun came out, you were happy and whistling and all that other stuff. And if that person contacted me and said, hey, look, things aren't working out. I'm going to see somebody else. Your entire world was shut completely down. Just like that. Can't eat, can't sleep, can't do anything. Emotions are out of control. So people go to jail over those emotions. People kill over those emotions. You have no control. You would do things at the end of the day you would not do if you were single. So, it's a beautiful thing that you're attached to someone, you're in love with someone. That's beautiful. But there's also a downside to that too. You're also controlled. When people go through divorces that never recover from them at all, period. That pain will always be there due to the fact that the memories that they built, and that's another thing I don't allow myself to do. I don't allow myself to build memories around people. Now, family, that's family to the day. That's my people. But somebody new that I meet at the end of the day, no, I don't build any memories with you. You will never, ever see my home at all, period. That's virtually impossible due to the fact that when you bring someone to your home, you're actually now building memories. The day you guys drink a little hot soup in the kitchen and joke and laugh, memories are being processed. Now, the longer you do this, the more the memories basically take hold of your entire environment. That means that when you two separated, there's places you can't go to anymore because the memories are still there. Can't go inside your own home because the memories are still there. There you go. That's why a lot of people in my home front. Only people out of my home front is family, close friends, cat, and God. That's it. Well, God is first. That's it. I don't build memories on people. Because that's one of the lessons I learned. Some people can date, you get in a serious relationship, you get crushed in the process, you learn nothing from it. You go back and repeat the process again and again and again and again and again. Some people learn. Some people hit that process and go, nope, I'm done. I'm not doing that crap ever again. That would be me at the end of the day. And learn everything from that process that I want to never ever do that again, ever. Now, I have emotions toward people where basically, helping you out, all that stuff, feeling remorse if someone passes away in your family, that's easy at the end of the day. That's no problem at all. That's being human at the end of the day. But having remorse on the other side of basically Fall in love with someone? No, it doesn't exist in my head. I don't have that capability anymore. That's what I love about myself. True control, true power at the end of the day. True focus. Yeah. That's why I have a lot of girlfriends, because at the end of the day, my intentions are not to sleep with any of them. My intention is to hang out and have a good time with them and chill with them. That's basically about it. They like being around me because at the end of the day, they don't have to worry about somebody kicking some stupid game at the end of the day. You know, hey baby, this and lie. You lie right from the door when you kick game at the end of the day. You lie about everything when you kick game. I don't understand the type of nonsense. They just want to be treated like everybody else. Now, hey baby, how you doing, baby? What's up, baby? What's up? I would drop kick you for something like that. That's just freaking crazy. No. But at the end of the day, they all understand the rules. Never going to date you. Don't have a future with me. It's never going to happen at the end of the day. When we go out, we're going to as friends and friends only. You start showing any signs of basically clinginess, I'm going to cut you off. So I tell you everything from the door. You'll never sit there and say, well, he didn't. No. Peace of mind is worth my good thing. You have no idea how much money peace of mind is worth. It is worth more than money is worth more than anything. Let me explain something to you. Your people don't understand. You can make good money. So you make good money, right? Drive a nice car, you know what I mean? Have a nice big house and all. But you bring somebody into that home, you bring somebody into that car, and you share a memory with them. You share a life with them, and say that life does not work out, say it deteriorates and falls apart. Now you have that person's memory still there in your environment. Long after they're gone. It's still there. Can you enjoy your home anymore? No, you can't enjoy your home because everything reminds you of that person. You can't enjoy your home. Heck, when I was in a relationship and the relationship was taking this downward spin, I realized I paid for all this stuff and I can't even enjoy my own freaking house at the end of the day because when that person comes home, I got to deal with their bull crap. I got to deal with their nonsense. I can't even sit down and watch my screens, can't enjoy my life. I learned from that from the door. Like, nope, if I get over this nonsense, I get past over, I'll never let anybody in my circle ever again. Can't even enjoy the very things that I have because of this particular individual. And then when you separate, that person's still trapped in that environment. And you have to remodel the entire house just to get him out of there. It takes years to get past that process. No, heck no. No. Peace of mind is worth more than anything in the world. You can have all the money in the world. You share your life with somebody, you got to deal with that headache at the end of the day. Now, for people out there that sit there and say, well, you know, my relationship, that's all good and well. That's fantastic. I hope it works out for you. I'm not one for at the end of the day saying, hey, if it works out for you, I'm all for it. I hope it works out for you 100%. If it doesn't, it's going to be a heavy crash. And it's going to be a heavy, heavy crash. That's what it's going to come down to. Yep. Especially when you got kids and stuff involved. It's even worse. Gee, I don't know how people do it. I don't know how you do it. I really don't. I can't do it. I've never been in that situation ever in my life. I don't know what that's like. I got friends of mine who divorced and separated. You know, the kids are still there. You still got to see that person day in and day out. Oh, and then they marry somebody and they bring, oh, I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how you do it. I'm just thank God I've never had kids. I'm happy about not having kids 100%. I'm a godfather multiple times. I got little jokers I can see every time I buy cell phone, go to the recitals, all this stuff. Same thing like being a father, just not mine. I couldn't do it. I give you all a lot of credit for that one. I can't do that. I can't do it. No. No. And I have to see that person over again. I'm a bridge burner at the end of the day. I'm used to once I cut you off, I never see you ever again. Never see you ever again in my life. None of your friends, nothing. I burn everybody. Bridges are burned with everybody. Cut them all off. Cut off all communications. That's my life. I'm used to that. So I would never see any of your friends, none of them whatsoever. Because they're all gone. So I'm not used to that. But imagine you still got to be friends with their family. So, oh, heck no. I couldn't do it. No. There's no way in the world to do it. So people that live that life at the end of the day, hats off to you. I don't know how you do it, but you do it. I got friends who do it. I don't know how you do it. I couldn't do it. No. At the end of the day, my phone stays quiet. None of these females contacting me I broke up with, not one of them will reach out to me at all. They stay their distance far away from me. I love it like that at the end of the day. They know better not to ever track me down, ever. They give a nice little speech at the end. I try to be try to be a man of God at the end of the day, but don't ever think in a million years that tracking me down would be a good idea. It's best that you pretend that I don't exist. You delete all your information from me, you disappear. Same thing back at you. You dig me up, you don't want to do that. So when I'm out with a female, I've seen a couple of my exes when I'm out with a female, they walk right past. Don't say anything at all, period. Never have to worry about some jealous female coming over and no, we don't do that. Never. And I never could understand how people break up with somebody and then become friends with them. I would never understand as long as I live. I would never understand that one. I just be looking at people that's baffled at the nightmares that they cause for themselves. And I used to look at them like, what the frick is wrong with you people at the end of the day? Like, you're trying to burn bridges? You don't know how to cut people off. Yeah. You don't want that toxic nonsense in my life at the end of the day. Especially if you're a toxic couple, I'm definitely burning a bridge with you in a hot second. Flame on. But people break up with somebody. Still be friends with that person. And then when that person says something nasty about you on YouTube or Facebook or whatever it may be, or they're dating your best friend or whatever nonsense is going on, you allow that nonsense to happen. You should have burnt that bridge a long time ago. When y'all broke up, get rid of them. Cut them off. Be done. Now you keep them around. Some people keep around people at the end of the day to talk trash about them behind their back, to keep them around. Oh, they're just so-and-so. We're good friends. You just understand the whole situation. No, the situation, you got to go. So in my world, I don't have any of the problems. I live a stress-free life. My stress level is absolutely zero. I don't have any stress at all. None whatsoever. I don't have any of that nonsense. Majority of my friends are married and have kids and all that stuff. And when I watch their arguments break out and stuff like that, I just get up and say, hey, check you guys out later, and leave. I'm not sticking around for that. Why should I stress my life? I don't have that anymore in my life. I just leave. That's so well now. I just leave and go home. Quiet place. Ain't nobody there but me and the cat. Oh, you have no idea how happy that is to have at the end of the day. To walk into your place and hear nobody but a freaking cat. Not hearing somebody screaming and complaining and fussing about this and fussing about that and doing the most dumbest stuff you could possibly think around you just to tick you off. Oh my goodness, I'll never have to go through that ever again. My kingdom is my kingdom at the end of the day, and no one else's. That's what I like about it. There's some people that are so tired of a relationship, they will come home and literally sit in their car for about an hour before walking into the house. Because they're unhappy. And the only reason why they stay together is because of the kids. So you're in a lifeless, loveless marriage. That's even worse. That's far worse. But they got to stay in there. Maybe it's finances, maybe it's money. Ain't worth that much money in the world. I'd rather be on the street and be homeless and go to that bull crap. But they do it. I've seen it happen in my family. I've seen two people stay together, waste 20 years. They're like, 20 years with somebody that you don't even like. I watch this nonsense. I look at this one. What are you going to do? Do whatever the freak I want to do. That's what I'm going to do. Like the guy, what show was that? I think it's called, I can't forget the name of it. So the Spades was in it. It's about these two couples. Two couples. And Spades walking through the restaurant, and they're sitting there, and they're laughing at him because he's by himself, he's single. And he says, well, I could do whatever I want, whenever I want, however I want. And it's true, he could, because he's a single person. He can do what he wants. And the men were just, They're thinking about it like, wow, you know what I mean? He said, well, I'm going to go do whatever I want. Bye-bye. So he didn't do that intentionally for the women. He did that intentionally to dog the men out the way. Yeah, I'm free, bro. I can do whatever the food I want. Yeah. Let me put it this way. When you start realizing, $2,700 in Disney World. When I went to Disney World. Freaking absolutely. This is when our relationship was crashing. Disney, $2,700. It probably was more than that. It probably was more than $2,700. It was up there. It was a lot of money I spent. And through that whole trip, I had to deal with a headache that just basically whined and cried about every freaking thing. Emotional people, I swear. It just ruined my vacation on that dumb nonsense. And then coming home to the bullcrap of that nonsense. Because a relationship isn't going to be peaches and cream. It's peaches and creams when you first start off. If the relationship started off as it ended, you would not be in a relationship to begin with. And you saw that person, how they really are, and you go, oh, heck no, I'm not going down this road, but you never see that. Later on, it sours, the milk sours, and it goes in that direction. That's what it does. And then as you're pedaling through that freaking nonsense, you're thinking that, I can get this to work. That's the dumbest thing you ever will tell yourself. I'll get it to work. I'll do this, and blah, blah, and blah. You come out with these dumb ideas, I'll get it to work, blah, 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 blah. And you think that, yeah, you can fix it? No, just get rid of it and be done with it. That's it. That's what I should have did. Now, do I regret the relationship? Actually, no, not the first 2 years of it, no. But the last 3 years of it, yeah, I do regret on so many levels. That's why I am who I am now. Did I decide to go back into a relationship? No, heck no. No, I learned my lessons in that one. Once you slam my hand in the barn door, I'm not sticking my hands back in there to be slammed again. No, heck no. No. I'm done. I literally had that conversation with her. When we broke up, she said, well, I guess you're going to be with somebody. Oh, no. I'm done. I'm finished. I throw in the towel. I want to be by myself. I want to spend my money. I want to chill, live my life, and be left the freak alone. Now, she's young at the end of the day. Of course, she's going to explore, find somebody, get married, whatever. I don't care. Just stay as far away from me as you possibly can. That's it. That's how that one works. So she moved on. Got a life with somebody at the end of the day. I don't know what's going on with that mumbo jumping thing. Don't even care. There's some problems and stuff that popped up that I saw that, again, nobody's business. But, again, I had to address her. So she's having financial. I don't care. It's none of my business at the end of the day. My job at the end of the day is to be left the freak alone. That's my job at the end of the day. I need beautiful women all day long. And I tell them all the same thing. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how you're built. The bottom line is it's implanted in my head. It's exactly, this is the outcome of all of it. I don't want none part of it. I want to have control over my own kingdom. I want to be command of my own kingdom. I want nobody adding emotions. I want control over all of that. I love my life the way it is. I got absolute power. Now, some women have that ability to be alluring. They do. They know what they have. They have that power at the end of the day. You can't use it on me. It's worthless on me. Because I don't care. We go on a date and you think at the end of the day that, I can entice them and bend over. They do weird stuff and they bat their eyes and lick their lips. That is completely useless on me. I'm not even thinking of you that way. That's why I like to have that power at the end of the day. Power! Yeah. Can't use it on me. It's virtually impossible. So don't care. My object is basically when I get done having fun with you, joking, pay for everything, the dinner and all. I'm one of the people like to go to nice places, like to eat. I don't like to go to cheap places at the end of the day, so you will eat well. But that's the end of it. I'm going to go home and play with a train set, chill out with my cat, go play some video games, jump in the VR, do stuff that I like to do. Not be bothered by anything. That's it. And they're right, Taco. Like we can sit here and paint our painting at the end of the day, build our computers at the end of the day, and left the freak alone. Yeah, so yeah, that whole trip at Disney World, oh my goodness. Worst experience ever. And from this, I learned at the end of the day, no matter how much money you make, no matter what you drive, what you have at the end of the day, if someone is involved emotionally into your life, that will also too fall apart. Ain't worth it. For me on my end, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. There's tons of people on YouTube that you can go and tell them about the single life, they'll take the end of the day. It's a much better life. Way better life. I have less stress. I don't stress of another person bugging me. I don't have that nonsense at the end of the day. I don't have it at all, period. There's no stress at all, period. Money issues? No, there's no money issues. I don't got to worry about supporting somebody else at the end of the day. They can't basically manage their money right. I don't have to worry about that bull crap. I have less expenses because I'm not in a relationship, which is actually fantastic. I freaking love it. More time. Oh my goodness. I have more time to myself. That's more time to invest in my business, more time to invest in myself. Again, that means I make more money because at the end of the day, I have time to invest in my company and my business. Yeah, I like it. I freaking love it. There's just so many perks to it. It's not even funny at the end of the day. But you sleep alone. Yeah, I sleep alone. I freaking love that part. I can eagle spread. There's nobody on my bed but me at the end of the day. None of that bullcrap, just me. I love that. Comfort is mine. It's all mine. No one else can take it at the end of the day. No worry about no giant pillows all over my bed that have me stacked up to the point I feel like I'm in the ER, freaking hospital gurney. None of that. True freedom. True freedom. A medicine cabinet's not cluttered with somebody else's stuff in there all day long. Oh, no. I don't deal with that nonsense anymore. Freedom, people. Freedom. I'm never going back. Never going back. I taste the food of freedom, and I'm never going back. Now again, like I said, I got friends of mine that are married and all that, and they're like, Kim, my point of view is different. I like being in a relationship, and so, okay, it's good. Well, it is. It's fantastic when you two are lovey-dovey and loving each other and all that, but then you're going to have them days when you just can't stand each other. That's the up and down nonsense at the end of the day. Getting arguments over the dumbest stuff, like that cup over there. Literally has seen people get arguments over cups, bowls, food, all kinds of stuff. I did it myself when I was in a relationship. No, you gotta go to bed angry, gotta wake up in the morning angry, ticked off, freaking sour, your whole thing. No, it ain't working for me. It ain't working. Nope. I would say if you got kids, take care of the kids and just go about your business. That's basically about it. That's what I would do. Go about take care of the kids, go about your business. Nowhere in the world. All my brothers who have gotten kids from previous, they got attorneys. They got full custody of their kids. She got full custody. They want full custody. They got good attorneys. Really good attorneys. But they take care of their own. We don't got no deadbeats in our family. We don't tolerate that bull crap at the end of the day. You will take care of your kids, so you can get the crap beat out of you. We don't tolerate deadbeats at the end of the day. We don't have that. Because if they have a problem, you have a problem with one of us. But we don't represent like that. So they all take care of their kids. All their kids are all taken care of. And they also take care of kids that are not theirs at the end of the day. I got to take care of a bunch of God kids. I'm a godfather. But anyway, that's as far as it goes for me. I mean, they like their lives and all. They're married, you know what I mean? They got the whole marriage life and all that. They like it and all. But like I said, not every day in the marriage life is going to be peaches and creams. That's virtually impossible. There's no way in the world. No way in the world it's going to be happening. No way in the world. He's going to do stuff to tick you off. She's going to do stuff to tick you off. That's what's going to happen. There are days you can't stand each other. You hate each other. And then you're going to have days in the day that may pop up. God forbid it ever happens to you, and I hope it never does. That person may basically cheat on you. I hope it never happens to you. I hope you have a wonderful relationship. I hope you get many years of happiness out of it. But you know, basically the outcome of it all, you're going to have days where you just can't stand each other. That's going to happen. That's part of the whole entire process of it all. That's a chance you take. Some people will jump off the cliff and, you know, their parachute may fail and it may pick up, you know, and some people are going to crash right into the earth and that's it. Some people just choose to, I'm not going back up there again, I'm done, I'm done, I'm not going, I'm done, I quit. And then some people just keep going back up and keep getting boom, 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 just stay down. Goodness, stay down. So I get people get mad about that and they go, oh, I'm not against any marriage relationship. I think marriage is a very beautiful thing. If you could find the right person and it clicks, but there's no way in the world your relationship is going to be peaches and cream every single day. That's virtually impossible. You're going to have arguments, you're going to fight, you're going to have days you can't stand you. It's part of the whole entire play, put it away. It's part of the play. I'm just glad I never have to buy tickets ever again, because I'm done with that crap. I'm so happy on that. I met a couple of really gorgeous women yesterday in the post office. Looking at my fingers to see if there's any rings on them. There's no rings on it at all, period. You see anyone? Yeah, I see God. That's who I see. I got a cat and God, and that's it. I'm not interested in anybody. I'm sorry, but I'm not. You know, I'm good. This office plan is all women here. I have no interest in anybody. My interest in my life is basically my technology. First of all, it's God. That's number one. But most of all, it's my cat over there, which again, is my little buddy over there, and my technology, which I freaking love at the end of the day. I'm not going back to that world ever again. I like to have my emotions intact. I mean, I saw that. Imagine that. You get the wrong text that says something stupid, especially when some of you are in these toxic relationships when you're checking your wife's or your wife, you're checking your husband's cell phones and going through their messaging and all that stuff like that, you know what I mean? Going through their cards, see if you find anything in there that you could prosecute them for. Man, when you hit that road, it's time to go. It's time to go. It ain't nothing's worth that crap. Nothing is worth that bull crap. And you got to go there. I did it myself. Yeah, I did it myself. That's why I learned all this crap in the way. I'll never do this stuff ever again. That is a freaking stressful nightmare. That whole not 100% sure you think that she or he is cheating on you, that is the worst process to go through in your entire life. You are one big emotional up and down roller coaster. Conspiracy theories left and right. Strange phone calls pop up in the middle of the morning, in the middle of the night. That could be a brother or sister calling. And not in your head it ain't. I mean, it's something completely different. Getting that gut-like feeling, that pain you get in the side of your gut, that hurts your chest, can't breathe correctly. Yeah, all that stress that just balled up in there, nice and knotted up in the side of you. Right on your side, and you can feel it, and you got that feeling that I know this person's cheating on me. You know what that feeling is? You know what it feels like? That's a horrible feeling, ain't it? It's like somebody just taking a knife and just jabbing into your side. That's what it feels like. Especially when the other parts start. This is the part that's the most colorful part of it all. When their emotions change towards you, the male or female. Let's say all females, males do it too. Females, we're not. They don't basically spend time with you anymore, or they have their own little ventures at the end of the day. They've got new friends. Some of them, mostly are guys. They're hanging out with these people at the end of the day, and they don't invite you. See that madness that goes? Yeah, right. I'm not going to do that bull crap ever again. I'm not doing that crap. No. That's craziness. That's absolutely craziness. And then people go through a neglect period in relationships where they don't bother with you at all, period. Guy might be going out doing his own thing, hanging out with his buddy. You never hardly ever see this guy at all, period. He'll pop up once in a blue moon here and there. Vice versa, she'll do the same thing. And then the worst part, the worst upon all worst parts, people, the worst part of it all. And the reason why I'm talking about this, I literally came from a couple's house and they were arguing and carrying on. 1 minute, next minute, they're all honey, pooching, hugging each other, and the next minute they just hate each other. They can't stand each other. They contact me and tell me how much they hate that person, back and forth and back and forth. I'm like, oh my goodness, I remember doing this nonsense myself. I remember going through that same process, giving me flashbacks of what I went through. So the difference between me, I learned my lesson, got the freak out of it. But anyway, that process that you go through, where either him or her stop having intercourse with you. This is a jacked up part about it that I find extremely interesting about human behavior. It's the fact that, and I took all this down as a science, as a study. At the end of the day, it's a study of the human behavior. I myself involved, experimenting on this. It's the fact that if he or she cuts you off completely, you're still in a relationship. If you go out and you hook up with somebody else because you've been neglected in that particular area, that would be considered cheating. But it's that person's obligation to fill that void because you're in a relationship. But that person may not want to be bothered with you anymore. They might not even have those emotions for you anymore, but they want you to still be in a relationship and provide. That is jacked up. People who do that nonsense, yeah, jump off a bridge. Literally, seriously. Center block, all climb up on a bridge and just hee-ho, jump off the side of it at the end of the day. That is some cruel nonsense to do to a human being at the end of the day. If you are not attracted to that person, then let that person go so that person can proceed to see other people and get in a relationship. Or if you're that person after they go into that bullcrap, cut it off, be done with it. Because now you're in a marriage where that person hasn't touched you in years, this person hasn't touched you in years, and you're just stuck together. It's a good way to waste 10 years of your life on that nonsense at the end of the day. But here's the jacked part of it about. You can't go hook up with anybody if you wanted to. See biblical law. Can't do that. Your marriage contract doesn't allow you. You got married by two different contracts. The land, which is man, and God. It doesn't say till death do you part. This is why you got to take marriage extremely serious when you basically marry someone. You got to be someone you're really compatible with, someone can put up with all your bull crap. You can put up with their bull crap back and forth. That's how that works at the end of the day. Find someone that's compatible with you. It's best that you're friends with that person first. For years, it's good. 2 years relationship, knowing somebody for 2 years, 3 years, that's fantastic. But some people like to get married right away and don't even know that person. Because we're in love. We love each other so much. So much we love each other. Yeah, that's when you're setting yourself up for disaster. So under biblical law, I've never been married ever. I can't marry anyone who's already been married. Why? And a lot of people are not going to like this. It's in the Bible. Accept it whether you like it or not. You can't marry another person if you're married. If your husband or wife is still alive, you committed adultery in God's eyes. You sinned against God. You broke a contract. When you want to get married in a church, what do you want to marry a church for? You want God's blessing, right? You want God to bless your marriage, right? That's what you want, right? So under that contract you sign with God, it's a forever contract, which means that the only way that you can get out of that contract, one of you have to die. Till death do you part. One of you have to pass off the earth in order to break the contract. So a widow can remarry again because her spouse has died. Or, male, whatever, which one they call it, either way, both widows and they, yeah, that's the only way you can get out of it. Other than that, you're binded in that contract. What people mistake you make at the end of the day, and I've had a Christian member in my family do this, and they were wrong, they shouldn't have done it, is that when you go out and marry somebody else again and again and again, you commit that sin over and over and over again. If you're not Christian, you'll be punished for this in the book of life. If you are Christian, you should be doing this, period, because you know the book of the Bible. You're not supposed to do this at all, period. Only way you can divorce that person if this person cheats on you. That's basically about it. That's as far as it goes. But you cannot marry anybody else after that until that person passes off the earth. One of you got to go in order for that to work. God is very serious about marriage. The problem under man's law, man is not serious about marriage. Man would be like, oh, divorce this person, marry this person. Divorce this person, marry this person. Divorce this person, marry this person. Meanwhile, sin, 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 sin. Can you imagine getting married the second time around in God's church and trying to ask the Lord for a blessing on your marriage when you committed a sin right in front of his eyes? That ain't going to work. You're not getting blessed on that. God can't bless your marriage at all whatsoever. Because you sinned. You're not supposed to marry anybody else. Now, people that are living with someone, that's a sin that I make, a mistake I made. We're living with my ex at the end of the day. Should have ever been living with her at all, period. We should have been married before we lived together. You can't live with somebody that if you're married, if you're not married to somebody and you're living with them, it's considered to be adultery. That's what it is. It's adultery? No, it's fornicating. You're fornicating. You're gonna be married to get adultery. You're fornicating. That's what you're doing. That's a sin right there. Some countries they cut your wedding ring off for that. In other countries, if it's Old Testament, they'll throw you in a pit and they'll stone you to death. Your entire family, they cut your bloodline completely off because you're considered to be an abomination. And instead of the in town, God, me keep in mind, of God's vengeance taking down an entire city, they'd rather just get rid of you in the process because you're a sin at the end of the day. Now, that may make some people very angry by that, by saying that, no, I have not. Yes, you have. Read the Bible. You don't believe me? It's right there in the Bible. It says it. Jesus talks about it. It's in red writing. Read it. Sat there and said, if you basically marry someone who has already been married, you committed adultery. That's what you commit. If you are living with somebody and you're having intercourse with that person, you have committed fornication. That's what you have. It's a sin. You can't do that. So what do? Practice celibacy. That's what you do. That's what you do. Beautiful thing about my life, I went through so much pain and so much crap in my last relationship, I'm good with that one altogether. I really don't want to be bothered with anyone ever again. That one did it for me. That literally did it for me. My mother used to always say that, one thing about me, I was a very hard-headed child, but once I had enough pain and suffering, and I turned that point, I never go back to it ever again. So if I did something that she knew that was a habit of mine, once I reached that plateau of can't take that type of pain anymore, I never go back to it ever again. I learned that lesson for life. And yeah, I hit that plateau. I'm done with that crap. I am never going through that bull crap ever again. No, I don't want to be emotionally attached to anybody at all, period. So I'm happy being celibate. I've been celibate for 5 years. Oh, for the person who was sending the pornography pictures over about how I got to get, he said that to a Christian man. You do that, right? Mr. Fernando, you made that statement to a Christian. When you sent pornography over on your phone to my phone and said I need to get some PUS, that's what you said. You mentioned that to a Christian. See, that's why I say, that's why your downfall, what's about to happen to you, it's going to be so much pain and so much suffering you will go through because of what you did. I mean, it's a serious mistake. I'm the last person should have made that statement to. I'm God's anointed. You came and made that statement to me. Now, bad things are going to get for you after that? Man, that's why I said that boy better get down on his knees and ask the Lord for forgiveness. You signed the contract, buddy, with the wrong one. You did. Yeah. Situation, we're off topic, that Fernando's going to be in a third world country, and those prison systems they have over there, the torment, the pain, maybe torture, it's going to go on over there in those places. He is going to need God 100% to have his back against the devil that's going to use everything in his power to use that situation to torment his life before he takes him. He's going to go through an ordeal, a very, very horrible ordeal. Does it have to be horrible? No. If he's serving God, it doesn't have to be horrible. But if he serves the devil, it's going to be an absolute nightmare. I don't even want to go into what I've basically researched on things that could go wrong. And it's pretty bad. But anyway, got to move on from there. Wait for my picture to draw here. What I'm going to do. It's not supposed to be online in a few minutes. Where we at? Alright, so, yeah, you can't marry. You can't marry. If you're already married, you can't marry again. If you're sleeping with somebody, living with somebody, you're not married to that person, you're committing fornication. It's a sin against God. If this was Old Testament, your family and everything will be snatched out, thrown into a pit, and you'll be stoned to death. You'll cut your bloodline off, because it's considered to be a sin against God. Rather than God's wrath, take an entire city out, they'll basically throw you in that pit and stone you to death. And it's Old Testament, it did it. There's one about, what was it, about someone committing, a married man messing with a married woman. And the guy came in with a spear, killed both of them. It's an abomination. You're going to mess around, you're going to bring a curse down on all of us for your sin at the end of the day. They got rid of you. Sin can't do that. Now I have some people get angry by this and get mad for whatever. It doesn't make a difference if you don't buy from me. It makes no difference to me. You know why? My technology sells regardless. We serve God. Are you more powerful than God? Can you control his blessing? You can't control any of that whatsoever. If my Lord decides for me to get 1 million orders tomorrow, or 500, or even 5 or 6, whatever it may be, it comes from God, not from your decision. You have no power over that at all, period, whatsoever. I'm going to speak what I'm supposed to speak. Those who don't like it, then that's the way it's got to be. But you're going to answer for it sooner or later. You're going to die sooner or later off this planet. And you're going to answer for it. There's no way to get around it. You can ignore it all you want, change the topic, block it out. You're still going to go through it. You're going to face that crossroads sooner or later. We're all leaving off this earth. No one's going to stay here. And people have been doing it for centuries. Every second is a person that passes off this earth. Every microsecond is a person that passes off this earth. Sooner or later, your number's going to pop up. You're going to be a part of that microsecond or that second. And that person disappears. That'll be you, passing off the earth. You have to be ready for the next life. You fill your life with lies and whatever you got to do to live in this world, but this world is not forever. The next world is. Which means if you suffer in the next world, you suffer forever. You live in paradise, you live in paradise forever. You have to accept the fact. What I don't like about the preachers that I hear, when they give servant at the end of the day, they give servant to satisfy the people, to make them happy, to tell them what they want to hear so they can continue to collect money. I don't like that. Either you tell it like it is or you don't tell it at all. There are people that are going to dislike you, and it says right there in the Bible, when Jesus said you're going to have father against son, you're going to have mother against daughter. You know why? Because you're going to have those that are going to basically believe in the word and stand by, and those will not accept it. If I have a family member in my family that says, no, I can marry again, even though I've already married already, that is going to cause a rift between us because I can't agree with them because I know what's in that book. Mother against mother, father against son. That's what that all means at the end of the day. Now everybody can accept the Bible. It's not meant, everybody cannot accept that Bible because you're too embedded by this world. You're worrying about what other people think at the end of the day. You're going to have to take up your cross sooner or later. What table are you sitting with? Are you sitting with demons or angels? Who do you sit with? That's what you have to do. You can't sit with both. It's one or the other. So if you don't like what I said at the end of the day, and this angers you, it is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and lie about it. I'm not going to jeopardize my soul, my salvation for you at the end of the day. I'm not doing that. It is what it is. And I've gotten arguments with family members in my family over this. Like I said, I got 2 that passed away in my family. 2 young ones that passed away. 2 of the grandkids passed away. Neither one of them are saved. They want to believe in their heart that they're going to heaven. They're not going to heaven. They were not saved. They did not pick up their cross. They did not walk with Jesus in any way whatsoever. They're going to hell. That's where they're going. It is what it is. When I see preachers come up here and a person can drink, smoke, carry on, do drugs, whatever, commit all the sins, never go to church, a whole 9 yards. And the minute they pass away, they draw pictures of them, showing them in Heaven's Gate. You have any idea how dangerous that is? To make that statement? Did God not write it in his book on what the rules and regulations were? And then you're going to come in and change this and put what you think it is? Oh, good luck explaining to the God Almighty when your time comes up. See how that works out for you. You can't enter the kingdom of heaven unless you have been baptized, unless you have been saved, unless you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. And if you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you no longer want any parts of this world anymore. You can't adjust it anymore. You can't. You can't be around it. It makes your skin crawl. You don't want no part of it. All you want to do is become closer to Jesus, closer to Jesus, closer to Jesus. All you want to do is talk about the Lord, talk about the Lord, talk about the Lord. It's a beautiful thing. You don't want no part of this world. You don't want to go to nightclubs anymore. You don't want to go party with your friends. You don't want to drink anymore. You don't want none of that stuff anymore. All you want to do is serve God. That's what you want to do. Beautiful way to go. Beautiful way to go. Because now that person that you used to be is no longer there anymore. That person died. That person died when you were baptized. When all your sins washed away, that person died. He's gone. Just like I'm not the enforcer anymore. I'm not the person that they call out to burn a person's house down, blow someone's car up, threaten their family members. You have no idea the level of destruction that I caused when I was a young guy the other day out there doing whatever they told me to do, to enforce people to get that money. At 16 years old, I was hell for the people. Anything and anything possible to get that money back to the people who actually had me go out there and do it. So I can rise in rank in that position to now one day be a corner guy. And from a corner guy, go from there to basically own a bunch of corner guys. And then go from there and rise in rank. That's what I was pushing for. At a given time, I could have lost my life out there. So yeah, you got to get your act together. Tonight could be your last night. You could lay down and not wake up. Tomorrow could be your last day. You walk to the door and you don't come back in anymore. You don't know when your time is going to be. Got to get your act together. And the people at the end of the day are not going to like what I got to say. And there are people up there going to sit there and say, well, no, he went to heaven. No, did not go to heaven. I'm sorry. If he was not baptized, if he did not accept the Lord and Savior as his Jesus as his salvation, he cannot go. They're going the other place. You have to accept it for what it is. Can't change it. Preachers get there and go, oh, he's a good person, and so, I know he's with God right now. Oh my goodness, have you lost your marbles? You can't say that. You can't make that statement. You can never make it to tell it like it is. Because that's a warning to others at the end of the day. How much of a warning is that going to be if a person went out there and sinned and did all these things that they didn't were supposed to be doing and never served God in any way whatsoever, and you're going to say, well, they're going to heaven anyway. That just tells our people at the end of the day that, hey, you go rob, cheat, steal, murder, whatever you want to do, you're still going to go to heaven. There's no consequences. You do whatever freak you want to do because you're still going to go to heaven. Doesn't make a difference. But imagine that person sat there and said, unfortunately, he was not saved man. Unfortunately, he did not pick up his cross and walk with Jesus. Unfortunately, he served this world and he put God last. And unfortunately, he's gone to purgatory. And later on, he'll be going to hell. Can you imagine how hard that would hit that crowd at the end of the day? They'll realize that this man in that coffin is in another place and it's not heaven. How much more we need to change our lives so we don't end up like that. How much more we need to go out and preach about the Lord every single day and talk to people and keep pushing it so they understand that you could easily end up that way. He's never coming back. He doesn't have an opportunity to ever come back. He will burn in that lake of fire forever. That's it. I'm not going to come in here and tell you a pretty story because I'm not going to do it. It is what it is. All right, people. I got to go. As I said before, in my demonstrations that I do, yeah, I'm blessed to have a lot of nice things the Lord has given us. But again, the more and more my eyes are open to what the Lord needs me to do, the more and more I'm now praying on what I need for the Lord, for me to do, to get the word out as much as I possibly can. And people, this is more than just screen painting, all this stuff. It's bigger than that. You have to make the decision what you're going to do with your life. You don't live here forever. This world is not promised to give you eternal life. It's not designed for it. This is a cursed world we live in. Sooner or later, you're going to pass off this earth. The next life is what you should have invested in. How do you want to go out? Do you want to suffer for the rest of your life for eternity? Or do you want to basically be in paradise with Jesus? Young Christians out there, like I said, pray and ask the Lord, how does he want you to use you to go out and preach the word? Not everybody can be on the corner with a megaphone. Everybody can't do that. Some people can't do it, some people can't. But you do have a way the Lord has for you to go out and give the word out there about the Lord, preach about the Lord. Some of you might be doing God Love You tracts. There's so many different ways the Lord will have direct you. But pray and ask him exactly, what do I need at the end of the day to serve you better? How can I serve you better? What can I do, Jesus, to serve you better? That's what you got to do. Because I sit there and ask every day, Lord, what can I do to serve you better? So when I go on my walks back and forth, I do a lot of walking back and forth, I pass out my God Love You tracts. When I get on my YouTube channel, at the end of my videos, I'm going to talk about Jesus. Yep. And the devil will come in and tell me at the end of the day, oh, if you talk about God. If you talk about God, you'll lose followers. If you talk about God, you'll lose likes. If you talk about God, you won't have anything. You'll be broke. You'll be in the... That's what the devil will tell you. God controls all things at the end of the day. The devil has no power whatsoever. So whether I have one person watching my video or no people watching my video, the Lord still blesses their hand. He makes a way for us to get that word out there. That's why with the technology engineers, showrooms we're going to be in, and all this stuff we're going to be blessed to have and be able to do, we're going to be out there talking about Jesus. We're going to let them know that all this technology and everything we're blessed to have came from God. God's got to be real. How in the world can you even find a person that never went to school for chemistry or computers and basically knows my stuff? Yep. I think do something else with that nuclear forest. I would have built something else besides that. But anyway, we got to go. Taco's over here having battle with his fish again. Battle with the fish? What did the fish do to you, battle with the fish, Taco? I will battle with this fish. I will battle with it. Yeah. I swear I'm going to get you in a samurai outfit. Got to get you a samurai outfit. It's be fun. Get on a samurai outfit. I got to go, people. Hope you enjoyed our talk at the end of the day. I enjoyed my new painting over here. The Lord blessed us to be able to have. I'm going to basically put this up and hang this up. And the home front, I can't wait to actually set it up. Get ready for a cyberpunk desk, which I want to work on. And get ready for all the beautiful blessings that my Lord has for us and the technology that we have. So, that being said, hope you enjoyed. As I said before, seek and find God. Because keep in mind, if you're not seeking and finding God, the devil's seeking and finding you. He's looking for you. He's looking for you every day. You have to understand the devil is on your heels every single day. He's going to try to take your life by any means necessary. Because he needs you to be a part of his army for the battle of Armageddon. Find God, seek God. Ain't that right, Taco? All right, gotta go, people. God bless. Oh, look at you down there.